Real Talk with DJ Millie.
All right, begin.
On? Anybody on? Bluetooth not charged on. Maybe I did with the Bluetooth that one time.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody on yet? Monday Night Football's on too. They got 2 NFL games going on right now. Yeah, see, I haven't been on for a while. I don't think anybody's got any notifications.
Yeah, it's only this one.
Yeah, everyone has some leaders. Yeah, they have different connections. Hello? Yeah, I'm live right now.
There's 3 people on watching you,
Oh, is it?
but there's nobody's commenting yet.
Yeah, so. Alright. Can't say there's 2 people on, but nobody's coming in yet. Alright. Love you. Bye. Alright, what's up, everyone? So I had a video that I wanted to have dropped today that pretty much talks about on how I do and what I say at my speeches when I speak about my incident. But I made it almost back in April, and I wanted to get it edited and premiered back in April, but we figured that it was probably too soon, and they were going to edit it yesterday. But unfortunately, with all the videos and all that, it got lost. Probably got deleted because sometimes when you get over full, it starts deleting old stuff. So most likely that's what happened. So today I'm gonna talk, a little bit. Anybody has any questions and stuff? I'm talking about not really about how I do the speech, just about what happened and and where I'm at today, and pretty much stuff that we've gone through, and pretty much what I was setting up even before my incident, the day of my incident, what we gone through, and everything. Today, honestly, was pretty much a hard day for my family. You know, they got a lot of since last night. They've been getting this whole last week, couple weeks. I haven't been on much at all because this day was coming. So, and then last night and today it's been a hard day. And today literally makes 5 years since my incident, and so a lot of I can't pronounce pronounce the right abbreviations, but pretty much they got real bad PSTD or whatever you call it,
PTSD.
PTSD. Yeah, I just say flashbacks. It's easier for me. Just say flashbacks. And so, anybody on yet?
Timo DeVille said tapping in really quick to you and the whole familia. Cowboy up and stay up, brother.
Thank you, Timo. What's up, Timo? Yeah, I know football's on right now, but today makes 5 years, so I got to get on and speak about my incident, and a couple weeks before what I was planning, and then of course my incident happened, what we went through, and then where we're at today. But I haven't been on to play any music neither because I want to get this adapter, which I have it somewhere. So we either got to find it or just go get a new one. It's not that expensive. It's only a couple bucks. That connects from my output board to the USB port. That way you guys get pretty much more direct sound. I don't have to worry about too much bass or too low, too high, none of that. It just sounds a lot cleaner. But anyways, going back on to about my incident. The video I had was pretty lengthy. It's about 45 minutes to an hour long because I talked about I got a little bit more details. I got more. I talked about more. Got more details. Got more than just the basics. Like I speak at the high schools and stuff like that. And I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but Kim's trying to set it up so I can hear comments because unfortunately my incident left me completely blind and so much more, which I'll get in more details here in a minute. I know Kim's trying to set it up so I can hear the comments because I'm gonna, this brings back so much bad memories and stuff that, and still, we're still going through it. So work with us for a second. Since you get this figured out, I'll go ahead and get started. And then if you guys want to know more, matter of fact, Nana, if you're on, if you can go back, I don't know how you would do it. I know Kim can do it too and drop the video of 911 dispatch the day it changed my life. It's about 3 minutes long. You can watch that. You can drop in the link. I know all the mods can drop it into the links. And
You make me get on camera, damn it. Paula's on.
what's Paula? Yeah, hey Paula, if you can drop the video of 911 dispatch the day it changed my life. This way, while Kim's trying to figure this out, for the comments can be read out loud. It gives whoever's on a chance to watch that video.
Everybody's just watching me stare at them. You can continue to talk to them. They can't just watch me sitting here messing with the settings.
Every time it talks out loud, it kind of messes me up. I don't know if they hear that, because if they hear it, it's fucking over me.
I don't know. Do you guys hear the text to speech thing on here?
Now, do you guys hear that? The speech thing, the laptop talking. If you guys do, then I would wait till she figures that out. If not, then I can keep talking. Speech thing, the laptop talking. If you guys do, then I'll wait. Press that. Yes, so I don't know if you guys hear that over me or at the same time as me. I don't want to be talking. You guys hear that at the same time. Yes, so I don't know if you guys hear that.
I don't think so.
Anybody comment? Anybody answer?
No.
Can anybody tell me comment on there for Kim can read it if you guys can hear the laptop speaking? This way, if you guys can, then I'll just wait till she's done. If you guys can't, then I can keep talking while she's figuring it out. Nobody commented yet.
No, they said they can't hear it. Sergio's on.
What's up, Sergio?
Helen's on.
What's up, Nana? All right, so let me go ahead and get started. So I'm going to take you guys back a little bit, about 2 weeks. I want to take you guys back to September 2018. I want to take you guys back about 2 weeks before. So, matter of fact, I'll take you guys to September. No, well, I'll take you guys back before. So during this whole time, matter of fact, I'll backtrack. Yeah, so I'll take you back to September. Back in September, you know, I was setting everything up. You know, our Suburban at the time. You know, I was trying to figure it out. You know, I had literally with my pickup truck, our little blue Chevy Cobalt we had, my Chevy pickup truck, as you see in the picture there, my Chevy Suburban. Then I had a 6.2. I had literally changed all the starters. Gave all the cars a tune up, a full tune up. I did changed the water pump on the Suburban. I changed out the ECV. I did a full tune-up on it because I was trying to figure out on the Suburban. I figured since I'm going to do it on the Suburban, I'm also going to do it to all the cars. But the Suburban, I was trying to figure out why it would take a minute for it to start. So I was killing all the process, and I changed out the, the simple things, the fuel filter. That was pretty much before I had to pull down the gas tank and take out the fuel pump, which that's what it ended up being. But we had changed everything out, and okay, it's talking again. So I had ordered. So in September, I was getting ready for the following summer. I had ordered through the Bass Pro Shop 2 paddle boats. They were 4-seaters. They were nice. They were big paddle boats, 4-seaters. For when we go to the lake, we go out there. The kids get a little workout. The 2 in the back seat would be lazy. They don't have to paddle at all. But I was setting it up. I had ordered the fuel pump. And at the same time, the fuel pump, because the speed gauge was broken on it as well. The gas gauge was broken on it as well. I was going to change that out because they're both in the gas pump in the gas tank. But it's not a hard job. It just takes a long time. And I was going to fix that. Matter of fact, the Friday of. So it happened. My incident happened September 18, 2018, which was on a Tuesday morning. When it happened, when I was hit head-on by a drunk driver. So I had ordered the fuel pump, which it was going to be in on that Friday after my incident. And then my paddle boats were supposed to be in. Honestly, I don't remember. You got to figure it was 5 years ago. I don't remember the exact dates that my paddle boats were going to be in. But as a matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about it, I gave them a deposit for my paddle boats, and we never got that back. I wonder if they still have it on file. So I was having a lot of little things set up, that I was going to surprise my family with. And so, I mean, there's a lot, there's a lot I can talk about this, but I want to get straight to the point from here. So, it was my regular morning routine. I woke up that morning and I was actually happy because the night before I had got my dispatch, and it was going to be a good day. I was looking at around a $300 day within 5 hours. So I already had the day planned out. I was going to go to work, add some drops. I was headed to. It was actually my favorite trip. I was headed to San Francisco, and I was going to get paid good money for about 5 hours. I was going to be home in time to pick up the kids. And of course, every time I picked up the kids from school, I would, supposedly, purposely accidentally sneak over to Burger King, get an ice cream cone, get some rodeo burgers. And that was going to be my day. I was going to go to work. I was going to, drop off the loads real fast, get home in time, pick up the kids from school, go to Burger King, sneak to Burger King and surprise them. I was going to surprise them, but they knew every time I picked them up from school that we would go to Burger King, get some ice cream, get some rodeo burgers. They used to love rodeo burgers, and get the ice cream cones. And that was my plan. And then, of course, from there, the rest of the day goes on with their practices and all that. So the weekend before, matter of fact, the weekend before my incident, I took, we were in Stockton. I watched my daughter, Jillian, she played football at the time, get her first tackle. She had a bitch for a coach, though. Coach didn't want to put her in. It was to this day, they only won like 3 games. He was this high-powered coach, football coach. But, they were losing 56-0. And he still denied. It was only like 3 minutes left in the game. He still denied her putting her in because supposedly they still had a chance to win. And 3 minutes losing 56-0. So they finally put her in. She got her first tackle. She wanted to get 2 tackles, and it was a cool night. I had my daughter's cheer teams. They came with me, Kim. We went in 2 different cars. Our Suburban was I don't know why we didn't take the Suburban. We went in my pickup truck and the little Chevy Cobalt. And I don't remember why we didn't take the Suburban that day, but it was a fun day. It was a fun night. The following day, that was on a Friday night. The following day was a Saturday. Went to my youngest son's game, and I remember because I was pissed. That game pissed me off. Of course, I was proud of my boy. I was proud of my kids, but I remember that game because it was the referees were playing big time favoritism, and they threatened out to kick out the parents because the parents were calling them on push. And they turned around and told my son they should a referee, an adult, a coach, anybody shouldn't tell a kid. At the time, you figure he was only like 11, 12 years old. And it was something that any adult shouldn't tell a kid, period. And my son told me, after the game, I got heated. I got pissed. I seen the referees bundled up in the corner at the end of the football field. And I started walking over there. And a couple of the parents telling me, hey, you know what? I go with you and said, no, kick back. Well, anyways, make a long story short, I hit them up and they see me walking over there. They jumped in the trucks and they took off. I caught one of them and he was, right away, I'm an off-duty police officer. And I told him straight out, I don't give a damn if you're an off-duty cop. You should know being an off-duty cop not to say this to the kid, to my son, a little 11-year-old. So anyways, he goes, oh, that wasn't me that said it. This confirmed it. This stamped it for me. He said, that wasn't me that said it. It was the white hat. He was the first one to leave. And so I remember it was a big thing. So that happened. That was the last Saturday, that I ever got to see. That was the last time I ever got to see my kids in anything. And then, Sunday, we wound up having a big barbecue. We wound up, enjoying the day. And, went to work Monday. It was a cool day. But so Tuesday morning, September 18th, I got up. It was going to be a good day. Got the dispatch. I got up my regular routine. My daughter Raina used to sneak in the room. And for those that don't know, my daughter Raina was born on my birthday. So I used to call her my birthday girl. She used to call me her birthday boy. And she used to sneak in the room and sleep at the edge of the bed every night. And, it was a routine. So I woke her up. I woke up every morning. I would wake up like 10 to 20 minutes early before my alarm would even go off. So I woke up. I got ready for work. And I woke her up and I told her, baby, my birthday girl, why don't you get up and sleep on my side of the bed? And I remember she used to always smile. I'm pretty sure she still does. Just this is the last time I got to see my baby smile. Her smile always starts with her eyes. Her eyes would just glow. Half asleep, her eyes, she would look at me, her eyes would just glow. Her smile always started with the eyes. Then she get a cheesy smile, her big old cheeks. You got to figure out the time she's only like, I want to say 8, 9 years old. And she said, okay, my birthday boy. I said, all right, baby girl, go ahead and sleep on my side of the bed. And I told her, I love you. And she said, I love you too, my birthday boy. And she went and lay down on my side of the bed. I went on Kim's side of the bed and, I gave her a kiss on the cheek. And I told her, hey, babe, I'm going to hit it to work now. And she said, all right, I told her, I love you too. So as I'm walking away, morning routine, every morning. She was, all right, be safe. And I turned around, I looked at her, I said, always. So I walked down the hallway. I got my lunch. My lunch is always, just drinks, waters and stuff like that. And I got my coffee ready. And some told me before I started my coffee, some told me And this is why, everything happens for a reason. You always got to listen to your gut feeling, because I had a gut feeling to go to AM/PM and put gas in and get me high red mocha, because I'm not a big coffee drinker. But someone told me to get high red mocha. It tastes like chocolate and it works good. So, anyways, I was like, nah, you know what? I'm just gonna start my coffee. I got a half tank, and I was one that never, at a half tank, I always had to fill it up. Always, just in case. You never know. So, instead, I started the coffee maker. I went to my truck. I put my trucker's GPS in there, my lunchbox, my my other stuff, my flashlight and stuff. And I turned on my truck and went back to the house, grabbed my coffee. And the crazy thing is this. Okay, I remember driving off. As I was driving off, so for those that knows Modesto, okay, going to Paradise and Carpenter, there's a gas station right there. And while going towards Patterson from Carpenter, it's like a back road, but that back road was my main way. And there's another back road to that going to Patterson. And I used to take that way home. But for this, I didn't know that way going to Patterson, especially in the dark. Something told me to take that way. I don't know what it was. Something told me to take that way. I was like, nah, I don't know that way, by heart yet. I can punch in my GPS, the address, and go that back way. But I said, nah, too much time right now. I want to get to work. And, you figure I would get to work every morning anyways, like an hour early. But, that was too much time away from getting to work early. So I didn't. I went straight. And the crazy thing is that, I seen this car swerve. Every morning on my way to work, I would get on my Snapchat. I'd be like, what's up, my Snapchatters? And, I'd be playing oldies. And, I used to have my pickup truck, the inside of it all lit up with red LED lights. So I would put my phone down, this way I know where I'm going. I would hold down the button, be like, what's up, my Snapchatters, on my way to work. And all you see my whole pickup truck all lit up with red LED lights. But for some reason, something told me not to do it. So I didn't do it. I didn't even pick up my phone. I had my phone next to me. I didn't do it. And then I seen this car swerve like into my lane, but it was a ways. And being that it was like 4:50 a.m. on a Tuesday morning, I didn't think nothing of it. I figured they were either on their way to work or coming home from work. I literally didn't think nothing of it. So as we got closer, I seen it swerve again. And unfortunately, I didn't make it out in time. I didn't make it out of the way in time. So I remember getting hit. I remember clearly getting hit. And I remember thinking, shit, I'm in a bad accident. But the way my truck was going, I guess I went into the ditch. But the way it felt, I felt like my truck was flipping. So I didn't know my truck was flipping in, like, like literally like, or I was going through potholes and dips and stuff. I had no clue. The only thing I did know didn't know what was going on, besides knowing that I got hit pretty much in a head-on collision. I remember in my head, I was saying, if this is my time, God, please forgive me for all my sins. And I said, no, you know what? Forgive my whole family for all their sins. Forgive us all for our sins. And right at that time, I remember saying, nah, you know what? Forget this. This ain't my time. This ain't my time. I gotta live. I gotta be here for my family. I gotta be here for my family, period. And then I remember thinking, okay, I gotta get out the truck. I gotta go help the other people in another car. This is a bad accident. I gotta go. At the time, I thought it was an accident. Later on, after finding everything out, it wound up being an incident. So anyways, I remember thinking, I gotta go help the people in the other car. I gotta go make sure they're okay. Oh shit, what if they had kids? I gotta go make sure the kids are okay. I gotta go. And then as I was thinking this, my son used to go to work with me every once in a while. You know, I was a truck driver, and they used to have certain loads. I was only like one pallet. I used to take in my pickup truck. You know, why take a diesel if it's only one load? If it's only one pallet, I can just take in my truck, save the, you know, my boss a lot of, you know, diesel, a lot of gas, a lot of time. And so anyways, my son used to go with me to work sometimes. And at that time, I panicked. And I started yelling his name. I started yelling, you know, Gabriel, Gabriel. I started yelling my son's name. And I remember looking over to my right, and I couldn't see him. And that made me flip out more. But that's the last thing I remembered. Literally, that's the last thing I remembered. And the crazy thing is, now that I hear sirens, and I never talked about this. I talked about it the very first time the other day, about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, the last video that I posted for Faithful Friday. Every time I hear sirens now, I don't want to say it's flashbacks of that morning, but it takes me back to that day. It takes me back to that morning. And I know I've been asked before, because I died 3 times. 5 years ago, I died 3 times. And they had to revive me 3 times. And the other day I was watching a video, and, you know, they had that little electric things that shock you to bring people alive. And I remember hearing that sound, the way and it brought back a lot of memories. Well, I can't say they were memories because I don't know. I don't know exactly what they are. But anyways, every time I hear sirens, I don't talk about it much because I don't know if it's just my mind playing tricks on me. I don't know exactly what it is. But I can't say they're out of body experience, you know, because I don't remember if I had an out of body experience. But every time I hear sirens, it kind of is, in a sense, because it's like I was there. Like I was there with the first responders, you know, watching them. I didn't see my body, you know, but it's like every time I hear sirens, I was there watching them. With the jaws of life, getting everything ready, you know, taking me out of my pickup truck. Because it took 45 minutes to get me out of my pickup truck. And then it's like I was there as a first responder, as I was on the stretcher when they took me out of my pickup truck. But again, I didn't see my body. And then when I was in the ambulance, it's like I was there. And the crazy thing, one thing I do remember hearing Kim's voice telling me, baby, it's going to be okay. Let them do their jobs. I remember feeling her hand on my chest. But is that one of the times that I coded, that I heard this? And then the defibrillators, what it's called, the defibrillators, you know, when I was listening to video, yeah, the defibrillator. When I heard the video and I heard it going off, it brought flashbacks. And I remember them playing it. I remember them hearing it. And I remember them saying, charge it up, you know, like 2-3 different times. But I do remember, a matter of fact, this one time I do remember is that I remember hearing them saying, okay, this is going to be a 3rd time. If it doesn't work this time, get your watch ready. We're going to call the time of death. And it must have worked. It must have worked because, you know, I'm here. But every time I hear sirens, it takes me back to that day. And for example, you know, when I hear sirens, I remember going into the emergency room from the ambulance. Well, I don't remember. This is just the flashbacks that I get every time I hear sirens. And my mother-in-law is no longer here. She's passed away. And when they were pulling me out from the ambulance, going into the emergency room with the glass doors opening. My mother-in-law was standing there. She was standing there, and so I don't know if this is true. I don't know. I have no clue. It's just my mind playing tricks on me, especially considering when I was recovering, they put me in her room that she did wind up passing away at. And then, and when I was it's crazy because when I was in surgery, it was like I was looking into where Kim was at, and I see my mother-in-law standing right next to Kim. It's just, there's more that I don't want to get into details on, but because like I said, I don't know if my mind playing tricks on me. I don't know. I have no clue what it means. I really don't know. I have no clue what it means. I'm just speaking about my little flashbacks that I hear every time I hear sirens, or that I get every time I hear sirens. But so, now I want to tell you a little bit about what they tell me. When I was, it's paperwork. My surgeons, all my surgeons told me this because I had the same surgeons that did the surgeries on me the morning of. Even the doctor, my brain doctor at the time. So Kim, my kids, they have like major flashbacks today because it took them back to when they were in a classroom. They got called out of classroom. So it's been a bad day for my family today, and it started last night. They started getting anxiety. I think so. I said it right. Anxiety. And my daughter called me last night, and she called me this morning. She was crying. My couple of my daughters, they didn't go to school. It just brought back a lot of flashbacks of 5 years ago, the morning of. So it took, I don't know where to start at. So before they took me up to the main surgery, Kim and 3 of my kids seen me. They seen me, and they had a blanket over me because at the time they didn't know. But my shoulder was sticking out of my shoulder. My bones were sticking out of my shoulder. My bone was sticking out of my forearm. My femur was sticking out of my leg. My foot was degloved. And they said the only way they knew it was me was because my granddaughter's name on my head. And but even then, they couldn't recognize me because they said I was all like dark purple, black. My eyes were sticking out of my head like golf balls, and had blood coming out of my ears, my nose, my eyeballs, my mouth. And the way the surgeon, when I went to go see all my surgeons, they were like in shock when I walked into the room, or actually wheeled into the room on a wheelchair. They were like in shock because even the doctors at the hospital all said that they had no faith in me. They all pretty much medically, I was supposed to die. That's why if you guys watch the 911 dispatch today, it changed my life. At the end it says I'm on the phone Memorial Landline. They say patients likely to 1144, which means patients most likely going to die. And but it took 32 pints of blood to stabilize me for surgery. A total of 52 pints of blood to save my life. One of the many, many, many things that saved my life. And all the surgeons were in shock when they see me walk in. And like my face doctor, my brain doctor was in shock. So like my face doctor that reconstructed my face, he said the way he did it, he was like surprised, like literally like in surprise. I can hear it in his voice. He said, he never sees his patients after, their emergency surgeries. And well, anyways, he had broke it down, and explain kind of how he reconstructed my face and why I'm looking at, which I'm not pushing the issue because, it is what it is. My right side, it's like tingly. Like, you go to a dentist and you get a shot and the numbness going away, it feels hella tingly. That's how my whole right side of my face feels. And I have my palate, the only palate that didn't get smashed or crushed or every now and then collapsed. And my nose healed, but it healed broken. My right cheekbone healed, but it healed broken. I think that's why I feel the tingling on my whole right side. I got bolts on the bottom of my eyes. So pretty much my face, my whole left side is full of hardware and dead people's bones. I can't pronounce the word. But he said the way he reconstructed my face was through my nose, my mouth, and my eyeballs, because my eyeballs is pretty much sticking out of my head. So that allowed him to go in there with the camera, stick the camera down my eyeballs and pretty much do it that way. But for them to reconstruct my face, you're gonna have to wire my jaw shut again for about 6 months to a year. They're gonna have to cut my right side, my face all the way down, of course, to flap over my skin and reconstruct my face over again. So honestly, that's why I'm not pushing that issue, because I don't even know if I want to go that route, put myself through that much more stuff. And speaking of that, tomorrow I have another appointment. It's going on 5 years. My femur still hasn't healed. But, I had multiple surgeries on my shoulder. My last surgery was about a year and a half ago, and they had to do a reverse shoulder replacement. And they did multiple surgeries on my femur already, and it's still not healing. So I got to see a specialist tomorrow about what route we're going to go from here. I need a knee replacement, but being that it's decided that I'm an amputee, they got to specialize in knee replacement. They don't know they want to put my body through that much more trauma that I have to go through that I don't have to go through. But at this point, it is what it is. Once I get my femur healed, I don't think I'm gonna go for my knee replacement. But we'll see. We'll see. Only time will tell. But luckily, I am here. But
I can't get it to read.
okay. So I was in a coma for I'm not sure how long. I honestly not sure how long. I know they were telling Kim to pull me off the plug, take me off the machine. I had no chance of living. I actually woke up from my coma. I had a brain bleeding in part of my brain. My brain had more severe brain swollenness. The only thing that saved my life from my brain pretty much exploding in my head was a crack, was a line that I had during my accident that was allowing my brain to get oxygen. And 5 years later, I got another 10 years for my brain swollenness to go away. But the brain bleed that I had was in a part of my brain that's non-surgical. And luckily, I don't have that brain bleed no more. But I do have a brain scar in my brain, So that's why I'm susceptible to seizures. I said it right. That's why I'm susceptible to seizures. And I'm on a high dose of seizure medication, and also some other medications to help my brain swollenness to go down. But I literally woke up hearing the doctor telling Kim, I heard my kids crying, and I can remember this clearly. I remember laying there, and I heard my kids crying. It sounded like they were on the left side of me. But I guess I was in the ICU. So I don't know how the ICUs are. I don't know. You're in a room. You're in a room with a bunch of different. Because I know my babies were in the ICUs. It was with a bunch of different babies. Well, here in Modesto, anyways, the ones in the Bay Area was a little bit different. You have more privacy. So, anyways, but they were like on the foot of my bed. It had a deep voice, sounded like Count Dracula, telling Kim. Heard Kim crying. I heard my kids crying on my left side. telling them, you see everything I just did. You really got to prepare your family and really think about taking him off the machine. He has no chance. And I remember hearing this, looking into pitch black. You know, I was looking into, I couldn't see shit. Like today, I still can't see nothing. I remember hearing this and I was thinking, is he talking about me? And I couldn't move. My body felt paralyzed. I could not move. And I remember saying, oh, hell no. Fuck this dude. Excuse my language, but you know, in my head, that's what I was saying. And I forced my body to stand up. I mean, everything I had in me, I sat up. I sat straight up. And as soon as I did, I heard the nurse says, oh my God, look, look, look. And everybody was tripping out. And I heard the doctor say, you know, lay him back down, you know, fill him up with medicine and whatnot. I forgot exactly what he said, but pretty much put my ass back to sleep. And I remember waking up again to pretty much the same thing. You know, hearing my kids crying on the same side to the left of me, like the same direction, hearing the same doctor, Count Dracula. I like saying Count Dracula, telling Kim, you know, with all his brain damage he took, all his brain damage he endured, he's probably gonna be brain dead, or he's not gonna have no brain memory. There's a good chance he's not gonna remember nothing. He's not gonna remember you, let alone his own kids. At the best, he'll have temporary, I forgot the words, memory. So I remember in my head, I'm thinking, man, why are you lying to my family for? I remember everything. And so at this time I was, you know, I put my hand up, I was writing for something, I was asking for something to write with. And honestly, it felt like I was playing, charades, because they were trying to guess, you know, what I was trying to ask for. And I don't remember if it was Kim or one of my kids that said, I think he's asking for something to write with. So I remember hearing the nurse, I was using my thumb because I had my arm in a sling. And I was using my thumb as a guide to write. And my first thing, one, I needed them to get out of the room because I had to take a dump. So that's what I wrote, but not the exact words. And I guess Kim saved it, but I remember, you know, being in there. I was pissed off at the doctor for, you know, saying this shit to my family to take me off the machine because I wasn't gonna live. I had no chance. Telling them I wasn't gonna have no brain memory. So I pretended to see what, you know, how many fingers he was holding up. You know, it's a routine. It's always 2 or 3. It's always they use the right hand first, you know, up and down, then the left hand up and down. I it's like a routine. So I follow the finger. They say, you know, follow my fingers. So I was doing that, you know, the regular routine. And I guess the amount of numbers they were holding up every time. So I remember, oh man, so much, you know, so many things going through my head. Rewind a little bit when I was coming out of my coma. My kids and Kim, they were telling me, you know, what was going on, what happened. And one of the first things was that went through my head was, I got to get my story out there. You know, I got to try to help save lives. I got to prevent a lot of people from drinking and driving. This is what hurts me. All right. This is what hurts me. I know I'm jumping the gun. You know, I got that ADSTS, whatever you call it. So my mind goes like 1,000 miles an hour. It's hard for me to focus on one conversation, but I forgot what I was saying now. See, my mind goes like I'm got 1,000 things going in my head I want to say all at the same time, so I lose track of where I'm at. But I remember I was mad. I was mad at the doctor, so you know I pretended like I see what was going on, and which was a mistake on my end because they could have gave me some kind of, I guess, steroid shots or whatever to help save my vision. But in the same time, come to find out, it's not my optical nerves. It's the chip that sends the message through your optical nerve that allows you to see. So if it was my optical nerves, then yeah, that would be the case. But and during all this, there's a lot of things I want to leave out. I want to try and make this short as possible. There's a lot of things I want to leave out that I spoke about before. A little bit here and there. But I guess I was tripping pretty bad. They put me on. Well, they had a plate in my chest, and they were giving my medication through this plate. At first, they were giving it through my IVs, and Kim wound up staying there with me because they noticed that when she was there, they didn't have to give me as much medication. That when she wasn't there, they didn't know if I was getting anxiety. They didn't know what it was. But so she literally sat for, I'm not sure how many months, on a chair, on a hard chair. They didn't give her a roll-out bed or nothing like that. They put her on a hard chair and told her, "Here, this is what you got." But anyways, during all this, I was healing a lot faster than, for one, they didn't expect me to live, but I was healing a lot faster. They were they told Kim that expect me to be in the ICU past the holidays. I'm not going to be getting out the ICU if I'm lucky until like the end of February. But I was out of the ICU. Matter of fact, I was home by the end of Halloween. And so I was healing a lot faster than they expected. I proved the doctors wrong in so many different ways. So, like, for example, I'm supposed to have no movement in this hand. And I got all my movement. Just, unfortunately, my shoulder still hurts. But, it's just, a healing process. So, when I was healing and they moved me upstairs, they had me on Xanax. And, thank God I'm off that shit now. But they had me on Xanax, and I started hallucinating. I guess I was just being a dick, I guess. But, in my defense, I did have nurses, like when Kim went and smoked a cigarette, or, there was nobody visiting me, which there was always somebody visiting me. But when visiting hours was over, after I was healing, I was mistreated a lot, not by Memorial Hospital, but by the recovery place. I only had like 2 people there, my therapist, nurse, and another nurse that was doing my heel wound for my foot. Was the only ones in that whole place that treated me cool. Now it's a whole different name. They probably got sued. I could have sued them too. But anyways, going back to the hospital, when I was recovering, they moved me upstairs, and the room they put me in happened to be in the room that my mother-in-law wound up passing away in. And, it's a whole different subject, but she passed away after her surgery, but she wound up getting MRSA in her lungs. And I guess that's what actually she passed away from. So when I was in this room, all of a sudden, healing fast. But when I was in this room, I caught MRSA in my lungs. So imagine the toll it took on everybody, on Kim. Her and her mom were so close. My kids, being in the same room, and all of a sudden I get MRSA in my lungs. But as soon as I heard this, I was forcing myself to cough. I was forcing it. Everybody had to go in there, I guess, in a gown, in a mask. And so at this time, I was forcing myself to cough. I was coughing everything up. They gave me this thing. They told me, I have to blowing it, but I have to keep it within a certain number. It's like I'm blind. How the fuck expect me to keep it within a certain number if I can't see? Well, just do your best. You know, when you're blowing it, you know, you always got somebody here, have somebody tell you where you're at and trying to hold it in that spot. So I started blowing it, and I just blew it my hardest I can. I guess I was already at the very top, and I was holding it there at the very top. They're like, wow, you know, you got strong lungs. And I just want to get the shit out of my lungs. And I beat that too. So when I got took to the recovery place, the therapy place and whatnot, I got mistreated there a lot. You know, the people from the cafeteria place would bring my food, and knowing that I can't walk, and that I was blind, they would put it by the door. Wouldn't say a word, just put it by the door and take off. And the therapist lady got mad at the kitchen place and said, you know, told them my situation. And for a couple of days afterwards, they still did the same shit. I told her again, and she blew up on them. So I know I'm going through a lot of details right now, but you know, I'm just breaking down a lot of stuff. So, anyways, skipping, you know, out of my therapy and stuff, I came home, and when I came home, we had pretty much a slumlord, and he was evicting us. Instead of waiting for my Social Security to kick in, which it kicked in immediately because after I came home, you know, it kicked in immediately. But he wanted us out because we owed like $5,000 of rent, which we could have paid him back. But he took us to court for that and everything. And, you know, we found out so much through this county that we're in, Stanislaus County. I'm going to be putting some people on blast here in the county. We found out so much about this county being the worst county in the whole California because they had the less rentals rights out of everybody here in California. Stanislaus County got the least rental rights out of everybody. And a matter of fact, victim services here in Stanislaus County dropped the ball big time, which we barely found out back in February, that we should have never went homeless. But we went to them, you know, when the court was going on, we went to them and said, look, we're getting kicked out. We're going to be homeless. Is there any programs you can help us with? And they flat out told us, no, there's nothing. Go to welfare. And which we found out way different now. We even got a package saying they told us, and they said, no, they never did. And they sent us this package that we got in the mail today. They sent it to us the date they told us. We're really homeless at this time. That means the old landlord didn't send it to the forwarding address or send it back to the mailman, just send it back to the forwarding address. So anyways, going on, kind of find out, we went to welfare to see if we qualify for cash aid, assistance, and whatnot. And they turned us down because they said that through my SSID, my Social Security disability, I make like $1 over the amount of unearned income, which finding out later on through a supervisor through another county, I automatically qualify at every county. So this person looked into it, and this person's county, I automatically qualify. They don't use my Social Security disability against me as unearned income. But because I am on Social Security disability, I automatically qualify for all the assistance, for all the help. Me and my family. But here in Stanislaus County, I don't qualify because I'm like $1 over, which honestly, I only make a month what I was making a week when I was working. So, I mean, there's so many things about this county that they don't help their people. They're not for the people. You know, they don't, like a lot of all the other counties, you know, they got so much more rental rights. So, you know, they help. It took another county for me to find out how this county dropped the ball with all the programs that I automatically qualify for because I was hit by a drunk driver. And all these programs we're barely starting to get on the ball, but because it took so long, it's going to take about a year for me to get any benefits out of this. And till then, and there's even a thing that, you know, we have to get a special car to accommodate my needs that they would have helped us with. They would have helped us with emergency to save our house, to save, you know, from being homeless. They would have helped us with so much stuff. But being that we weren't told this from the advocates, but then again, at the same time, you know, during this time, you know, they went through like 5-6 different DAs. Maybe there was miscommunications. I don't know, but they're claiming they told us, but they, you know what, to be honest, they never did. But they said they sent the packet that we got today to our house back in March of 2020, something like that. But we're already homeless at that time. So they, what package is this? Where did they send it to? Because we didn't get it. And they should have told us this when we were asking them, you know, we're going homeless. Do you got any help? No, we don't got no help. Go to welfare. Welfare wouldn't help us because I made $1 over. That's all in this county. Any other county automatically qualify for all that stuff. But it took another county to tell us about these programs. And this county, this person from this other county called this county and said, hey, you know what the hell is going on? You know, I don't know exactly what was said, but, you know, I called from a supervisor from this county, and now they're getting the ball rolling. You know, all of a sudden now, 5 years later, they're getting the ball rolling because they got called out from a different county. Anyways, you know, going through all this, you know, when I first got home from the hospital, again, somebody else from this county I want to put on blast. One of the districts over here in my county. My kids were going to school. And you see, before my incident, they were all A's and B students. They were going to school every day. But during my incident, all they heard was that I was going to die. So where else do they want to be at? You know, I was an upfront father. You know, I was very close with all my kids. You know, I did a lot of activities with them. I went to all of their sports, all their events. I wouldn't miss it for the world. I'd rather get fired from a job than miss a simple event that my kids had. That's just the kind of father I was, and my jobs knew this, so they never gotten away with that. And so the district pretty much treated and when they brought it up, the SARB, I don't know if the SARB is saying the district, I have no clue. I know it was at the district office, but pretty much, and I had a brain doctor that appointment. I had just got out the hospital and I had a brain doctor that day, and I had to cancel it to find out about my brain bleed. I had to cancel it because they said, we don't show up, that we can go to jail, whatnot. So anyways, and they had no way to contact them. No number, no nothing, just show up or you're fucked pretty much. So we show up at the meeting, and they said, why weren't my kids at school? So I was in the hospital, I was in a coma. You know, they were being told by the doctors that to pull the plug because I was gonna die. I had no chance of living. And the lady, the sheriff that was running the SARB shut me up and said, I don't care, that's a personal problem. That's not my problem, that's not my business. My problem is your kids coming to school, learning, getting their education. That's more important than whatever your issue is. Oh man, so what? And I remember I started getting pissed, and she kept shutting me up. So, but you see, the thing is that the other people in the room, I had this teacher step up and say, you know what, I'll take your spot, I'll take them in, I'll help them catch up, you know, this and that. And anybody that was in the room, except for one particular teacher, I think that's reported because she was the only one out of all the schools that wasn't working with us. And she actually, which honestly, I should have reported back then, now that I think about it, but I didn't, you know, it was whatever. So a little history of this teacher. She was a vice principal for my daughter at the time at her school, and she was being blamed for something she didn't do. And I knew that because I had facts. I'll say that. Um, so I went into this meeting, and I remember her closing the door, and she told the lady in the front, "Say, I don't want nobody to come into the room at all whatsoever. I got a very important matter to take care of, and so don't bother us at all." And she sits down. She kind of rubbed my chest, and instead of sitting behind the desk, she sat right next to me. She put her dress over her above her knee. I should have reported that because she wasn't talking about my daughter. She was talking about personal shit. So I never did. I shut her up. I told her, "I'm here to talk about my daughter." I pretty much. She was like, "Oh," like her whole face just dropped, and she put her dress down, went back behind her desk, and trying to say she had videos. I said, "Prove it. I want to see the video." So I pretty much shut her up, shut her down. And then at the end, she said, "Well, I'm not going to press any charges. So you got nothing to press charges on." And she's the one that didn't work with us during the time I was in the hospital. She didn't work with my youngest daughter, Raina. She was principal at her school at the time. And all the other schools were trying to work with us. So after this SARB meeting, I'm literally right after, everybody but her came out. And they say, "You know what? She was completely wrong. Here, I'm such and such. I'm this person at this school. I don't want to put nobody on blast because they sat there and they're going to put their pretty much their jobs on the line to help us." And they all gave me their personal cards. One gave me the card of a lawyer that said that this lawyer will fight this and we'll win. We'll all go to bat for you guys and tell them exactly what happened, how you guys were treated. And so these schools had our backs. These schools had our backs. It was just, I don't know, the SARB, the district's the same thing. But this lady from SARB, the sheriff, pretty much this is how it is. Shut the fuck up. So I told her, "You know what? I'll pull my kids out of your district and put them on home studies." And she was like, "You do what you're going to do, and I do what I got to do." All right, then so be it. But of course, that's when COVID hit and all that, and everybody had to stay home anyways, and that messed up a lot of their things. But anyways, what she brought up, she didn't bring up how good they were doing before my incident. She brought up only how much school they missed and how much they fell behind, and that's the only thing she had. And every time I try to talk about and bring up, okay, what about before this time? What about before this day? She shut me up. She didn't want to hear it. So that's another thing about districts. They're not set up to help kids that are going through trauma in life. And before, when I was growing up, I went through several different districts. I didn't like school because, like you can say, I literally got in physical fights with teachers. They never turned me in. Why? Because they would have been the one to get arrested. Even though I got the best of those fights, they would have been the one to get arrested because they know they were in the wrong all the way around. So I always thought it was just the teachers. But in this case, it was the complete opposite. In this case, it was SARB or a district. I don't know. But the teachers were the ones backing us up. Just one of many things we've gone through because of my incident. One of many things we've gone through because of somebody's selfish act of being selfish, getting behind the wheel, under the influence. So now, it left me completely blind for the rest of my life. It left me an amputee for the rest of my life. I got multiple surgeries still to come. I got hardware and dead people's bone in my face all the way through my left side of my body. And, speaking of that, even to this day, so much things we're going through to this day. For example, in this county, another thing, I'll put MID, Modesto, I think it's called Modesto Irrigation District. What they do, they run the electricity here in this county. It's not PG&E, which I wish it was PG&E because, so I went, being that I had to it's hard for me to fall asleep on a slant. Being the way my nose healed and stuff, they want me up to sleep on a slant. Um, and if I don't, I can pretty much stop breathing. So, all right. So I went and got tested for sleep apnea. Of course, I knew I was in not passive, but I knew they were going to say I have it because they put you on a flat bed. This way, there's air constantly flowing through. So, being that we're trying to survive, Kim got injured at work, so the only income we're trying to survive off of just my pure Social Security disability. And luckily, during this whole COVID stuff, all the stimuluses and stuff like that, we put it all to our rent. And honestly, I think that's paying off because we have a good landlord that's working with us. Because during whole COVID, we paid our rent. We were up to, I think, 6 months in advance, and the rest of the money was going straight to the bills. And MID didn't give a damn about COVID or none of that. They wanted to get paid. They didn't give no leeways or nothing like that. So, being now that I got electric foot, I'm on CPAP, which, talking to other people that's on PG&E, they say, well, you're on CPAP, let them know, because they can't shut you off. No matter how much money you owe them or you fall behind, they won't shut you off. Because, my dad was on CPAP, or, this such and such from different counties. And I was like, well, unfortunately, we tried that. We told MID, and they told us, well, we'll give you a discount, but you got to pay. You got to keep up, or we're shutting your ass off. So even with, for example, for PG&E, if you guys don't know this, if you're on CPAP or have any kind of medical devices that's has to be charged, or electricity, you won't be part of your rolling blackouts on PG&E. They'll leave you out of the rolling blackout. Your lights will always stay on. But MID, they don't give a damn. Again, discounting. So, anyway, see, I'm going off track again. I forgot what I was talking. But all this, we learned all this because of my incident. Because of what happened to me, because I was hit on by a drunk driver. So, unfortunately, during this whole court stuff, this person got so the date they wanted to give her this person their I don't want to say charge them, but how much time that they're gonna do, and was actually on this date 3 years ago. And Kim was like, no, it can't be that date, because that brings back too much memories. That's a date, that the incident happened. And I call it an incident because if this person didn't choose to get behind the wheel under the influence, it would have never happened. It would have been, if it did happen, it would have been just that, an accident. But it's an incident because it was a choice that somebody chose. So anyways, this person got the bare minimum. They didn't get the max. But the way it's explained to me, for example, now that I have seizures and I have a scar in my brain, I got brain swollenness that take about 15 years to heal. Your brain takes the longest to heal, by the way, for those that don't know. Or if I was going to surgery and not wake up because I'm going to surgery for my femur, or reconstruct my face or my knee, or whatever the case may be. If I was to pass away because of something to do with my incident, they would still charge this person. It could be 10 years down the line, and this person could be home doing great. This person would still be charged for vehicular manslaughter. It's a whole nother charge. And I don't know if this person knows that or not. But you know what? Honestly, hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully I live to be 100 years old. But yes, hopefully I live to be 100 years old, blind with one leg. Uh, but because I mean, there's so much things, so many things that's changed in our life, and that's what this person and this person's family don't realize, because during courts and all that, I had this dude was 22, 23 years old, talking shit to my 12-year-old son, telling him to jump, they were telling my family pretty much to get over it. He's just an old man, anyways. Um, um, One of this person's good friends that this person, I guess you can say, worked with, kind of find out he's a little small dude, but talking shit to my son online, calling him out. Just we got a lot of backlash, and then after the arrangement, this person, there was never no apology, and then they decided to apologize the day that they were going to get charged, and that was a strategic move by the lawyer. This person had a great lawyer. I give this person that, but which contradicted everything this person said on this letter, because the very next day on the Zoom meeting, there's during the time of all the COVID, visitations on Zoom, on social media. Like I said, I know a lot of the people in this person's circle, I guess you can say that. And this person, made this song of I need to stop using this person's name to get famous. I need to get over my oppression. I need, when this person gets out, they're going to come back, get their redemption. Redemption for what? I didn't do nothing wrong. Well, anyways, trust me, this person's story is way different than the truth. But I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to say none of that. And, there's a lot, there's a lot of this person's so-called fans has no clue about. And I will say this about this person, and you guys tell me what you think. And it's all on paper, it's for example, this person got pulled over, had 4 DUIs before this. Got pulled over, got busted with a stolen, loaded, paperwork, pistol, but all charges got dropped. About 2 months later, got busted again with a stolen, with a loaded gun again. All charges got dropped. I don't know about you, but you tell me, what that sounds like. So, anyways, besides all that, what we're getting. I mean, so many things. So many. I don't want to say flashbacks. I can't pronounce the PTSD, whatever you call it, that my family goes through. And I know I've been told before that, I didn't get the emotional parts of it, just the physical part. But even just the physical part, you don't think that's emotional? You don't think it's emotional that, I can't see for the rest of my life? I can't see my kids. I can't see my grandkids. I can't just get up and, little things we take for granted, like getting to go to the restroom in the middle of the night. I can't do that no more. Not because, if I had my eyesight, yeah, I could just throw on my leg and my liner in my leg and go to the restroom real fast. But even if I was just blind with one leg, I can just, throw on my leg and go to the restroom. No, instead, I got a femur that hasn't healed. So it's a lot different. I can't use a nightstick, to guide myself. It's a lot different for me. I'm not a regular blind one-legged person. I still got a lot of healing to do. Like I said, I got a appointment with a specialist tomorrow. Honestly, I hope the route don't go where they have to give me above the knee amputation. I really hope they don't go that part, because honestly, I just rather live with the pain. and so much more. I mean, so much more. A lot of stuff I don't talk about on here. A lot of stuff I don't bring up. A lot of stuff I don't mention. A lot of stuff, I just talk about just enough to raise awareness of driving under influence, on the impact, on the ripple effects it has on families. It doesn't just have a ripple effect on the person that was driving and the people that's involved in the incident. It has the ripple effect on everybody's families on top of it, and it's nonstop ripple effect. Luckily for me, I was blessed and I lived. Yeah, I had to take a whole different path. I taught myself how to DJ completely blind. Or I learned how to DJ completely blind, and that's something that I always wanted to do even beforehand. And because of this incident, I finally had the time to learn how to DJ. Another thing I put people wrong, I'm learning this board that I was told by other DJs that it's impossible for me to learn because I absolutely need my eyesight. And certain things I do absolutely need my eyesight for, but other than that, I'm still learning the board. I'm still learning it. So I'm proving people wrong. But like this last Saturday, I went to my grandkids' game, and now I can't be in the heat because I'm on hardware. And for example, before I got my leg and all that, I was in a wheelchair. I went to one of my daughter's games. Luckily, it was in the winter time. But I heard these kids behind. I don't know if they were kids. I don't know if they were adults. I have no clue. I'm assuming they were kids because it was a high school game, and they sounded like kids. Their voice, the way they sounded like kids. They were laughing. One asked, "Where's your uncle at?" And he's, he or she. It was a guy and a girl talking. They were laughing. Oh, he stayed home because he said he can't come out in the cold because his hardware freezes up. And they thought it was funny. But you know what? The truth of the matter is, people think that's a joke, but I learned firsthand it's not a joke. It's absolutely true. Now in my shoulder, my knee, and my back, I have severe arthritis. But on top of the arthritis, your hardware does get cold from the inside out. In the middle of the summertime, especially my bolts right here, they're the first one. And it's no joke. It hurts. These bolts right here can't be in direct sun because if they are, oh man, it burns. But you heat up from the inside out. But at least in the cold, you can bundle up. You can help insulate your body to where it's not as bad. In the summertime, there's really nothing you can do. So, anyways, now that it's cooled down, I went to my grandkids' first game, and it was nice. I was underneath the tent. I was in the shade, and of course, me and my service dog. But I was out there. I was yelling. That's why my voice sounds kind of crackly because I lost my voice. But I wasn't able to see my granddaughter cheer. I wasn't able to see my grandson out there, from my understanding, throwing some of these boys around. I mean, my presence was there. I was able to enjoy it, but I wasn't able to see them. I have no clue what my grandkids look like anymore. It's 5 years ago. And at that time, my youngest grandson was only 2 months old. My grandson was 2 years old. My granddaughter was 3 years old. 5 years later, they're growing up. I have no clue what they look like. Later on in the future, when I do get more grandkids, I'm not going to have no clue what they look like. My daughters, my son, I didn't get to see them walk the stage. I was there. I'm blessed and I'm grateful for being able to be there, but I didn't get to see them walk the stage. My daughter gets married. I'm going to walk her down the aisle in a wheelchair on a walker. You damn right I want to do it either way, but the father-daughter dance, you damn right I want to do it. But I'm not going to be able to see them, how beautiful they look in their dress. I'm not going to be able to. So yeah, that does get emotional. I do get, choked up, but I hide it from my kids. I don't want to see them. I don't want them to see me, let alone see me the way I am now, and then see me like, kind of choke up and excuse me. So, there's a lot of things I still do hide from my kids. Uh, this caused, part of a lifetime ripple effect. It literally is a lifetime ripple effect. The ripple effect ain't just for a couple months and boom, you get over it. Like in their case, well, I'm not gonna get into it, but from my understandings, it's not affecting them at all. The other people that was in the car off them, one got 2 stitches on the cheek, and they forgave this person, but yet they moved on. They went from dating a girl to being pregnant and dating a guy. It's a person's cousin that was in the car. They moved on. They, I think, had a sprain. Well, from the court, paperwork said it was a broken clavicle. And the court said it was a sprain. So I don't know. That's, for them, it's a lot easier to get over because they didn't get affected the way we did. They didn't get not even 1% of what happened to us, and every month, we're on the verge of getting everything shut off. For example, our car is up for repo, but being that we qualify for all this help, but now it's going to take a year because our county never told us about this. We could have had our car paid off, but now we're every month on a urge of losing our car and being not only homeless but being carless. Every month we're on it takes us a whole month to pay our rent. Borrowing money. Try to hope I get a DJ event, which I don't get many because I'm blind. Just struggling every month. I mean, my kids, my daughters that don't live here with us anymore, and they're trying to pull money out to help us, survive. And, my son, he's in the middle where he wants to go to college, but at the same time, he feels like he has to stay here and help us with bills. So what, he has to put his life on hold to help us, when if we were told about these programs by this county, when it first happened, instead of pretty much just throwing us away and telling us, go get on welfare, we wouldn't be in this spot. We'd be getting a lot more help. But regardless, it doesn't take away the whole effect of what happened to us. What happened to me, my physical being blind, being one leg, being, all my surgeries, being how my family has to see me. Excuse me. So, I wish I can see, Kim couldn't get the voice thing to work, and she don't have the Bluetooth no more. She could have got it to work on the Bluetooth, but she couldn't got me. So I have no clue what you guys are commenting. I have no clue if you guys are asking me any questions. I have no clue. I wish I did know. I could answer questions, but unfortunately, I can't see the screen. So unfortunately, I don't know. I do want to get on and start playing music, but I do want to get the adapter for you guys to have more crisp, clear sounds instead of hearing some lagging and then not blending the song. The sounds drop and then worry about it was too much bass, distortion. But with this adapter, you guys get more crisp sound. I don't have to worry about none of that stuff. I get on, do mixes live and all that good stuff. That's one of the reasons why I haven't been on, because I want to really get this adapter, which is only a few bucks. And but of course, with this adapter, I have to use my microphone. And I don't have a cordless, not a cordless, but I don't have a microphone that goes around, here where I can just talk. I mean, see me holding a microphone. But anyways, I just want to talk a little bit about, 5 years later. 5 years later, we're still getting hit with tidal waves. 5 years later, um, my county dropped the ball big time. I mean, big time, in so many different ways. And it took somebody from another county to say, "Hey, how come you're not on this program? You should have never been homeless. You shouldn't be struggling the way you are." And all of a sudden, oh, we told them. No, they never told us. And we got a pamphlet today, and it said they sent it to us back in March of, I forgot the year, but we were homeless. We were literally homeless at that time. So no, we never did get it. But we were in the office asking, for, was there any programs or anything? No, what they told us straight out was get on welfare. We tried getting on welfare, but in this county, I don't qualify because I'm on Social Security disability. And this is the only county kind of find out that I don't qualify for it. All the other counties that automatically qualify. This county is the only county that really don't have no rental rights, and every other county has so many more rental rights. We would have never went homeless with the other rental rights from all the other counties here in California. But I still want to move out of this county, but nowadays with the inflations and all that, we can't afford it. You got to make 3 times the rent. You got to, but then again, I would have to switch all my doctors over. I don't want to have to do that. All these doctors know me since, like, my primary, I've had since for over 20-something years. My surgeons and all that, they've all known me since. They're all great surgeons, but they all known me since my incident. They all worked on me. So many reasons why I don't want to move out of this county, but so many reasons why I do. This county just flat out, put it nicely, sucks ass. Plain and simple. But bottom line is that we get hit even until now with tidal waves. I mean, pretty much every day we're struggling for gas. Every day we're struggling for simple little things. We got soda lemon, for example. Another thing, we got soda lemon, and then we got sold faulty illegal insurance for it. And I mean, it's just so many things I can say that, my mind's going 1,000 miles an hour. So many things I can say that all cause of the ripple effect of getting hit by somebody driving under the influence. That's nonstop. And I'm trying to keep it at the bare minimum. I'm trying to keep it, I don't want to get into details of a lot of stuff. I try to say just enough to, like, for example, when I talk to the high schools, I keep it within 15 minutes. Sometimes the less, the more powerful. But there's a lot of details I wish I could say that I don't say when I speak, like at public events. Depending on what public events, I keep it short and simple. But when I got at certain public events where I can't talk at, I do say more details. I can say a little bit more. Like tonight, I'm saying a lot more. But there's a lot of things I'm not saying. A lot of the ripple effects I'm not saying. I'm not talking about. There's a lot of things that I'm not speaking about, and that honestly I really should, and maybe one day I will. I'm not gonna put. And it's nothing about the other party, that was in the other car. Nothing about them. Just about a lot of the ripple effects, a lot of things that we go through now, today, a lot of the trauma that we go through, a lot of the financial needs we go through, a lot of the things we go through, a lot of things we've lost over time, a lot of things that we can't get anymore, a lot of things, a lot. Emotionally, a lot of things. But then if you're on, hopefully you're on and got screenshots. But I'm gonna go ahead and end this here. I want to be on maybe Wednesday and finish off that sports mix. Hopefully, have that adapted by then. This way, you guys get clear sound. That's one thing I do want to do. I want to start creating. Well, obviously, I can't do it, but do a playlist. And if you guys want to go back and watch, maybe Paul, I don't know any of the other mods know how to do it, but I know Paula knows how to do it. Drop that link, 911 Dispatch of the Day That Changed My Life Forever. It's only about a 3-minute long video. And, that's one of the videos that I play at every 15-minute programs and at the public events. If I'm able to, I'll play that video. And and check out that video, share that video. I would love that video to go viral. Initially when I first started this channel, I started one. I was proud that I was learning how to DJ, but the main reason why I started I can raise awareness of driving under the influence. It hurts me that I got friends to this day that still drives under the influence, knowing that what happened to me. Close friends, I was in my circle, and I got a lot of friends that's in my circle that completely stopped driving under the influence because of what happened to me. And I appreciate them so much. I don't think they realize how much I actually appreciate them. But the ones that still drive like that, they don't realize how much that actually hurts me to my soul. That they're still gonna sit there and take that risk, knowing exactly what happened to me. But you know what? It is what it is. I can't change everybody. I can't help everybody. But I do want to help as many people as possible. I do want to, make a change in life. And this is something that I felt passionate about since the time I woke up from my coma, finding out exactly what happened. It's something that I really feel to my soul like I have to do. And, sometimes, I get, people get mad at me for it, but in the same time, it's something that I feel like I have to do. It's not that I haven't moved on, because I have. I moved on to the point where I can't talk about it. I moved on to the point where, I'm not gonna let anything hold me back. I need to get raised awareness. I gotta help save lives. I gotta help save people from becoming locked up or becoming victims. Something that I feel passionate about, and not everybody feels my passion. But I know I have reached out to people, and the crazy thing is, I reached out to more strangers than I have my own people circle. And they are still drinking and driving. I've got more response to strangers that said that I helped change their lives for the better from just hearing my story. And the more I can do that, the better. The more it makes me feel like, okay, I'm trying to do my part. But I'm gonna go ahead and end that there, you guys. And can anybody hear me? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and end that there, you guys. For example, September 18th, 5 years ago, if I didn't tell, I almost didn't come home that day. Well, actually, I didn't come home that day, but I almost didn't come home at all. I almost had to be, medically, I'm supposed to be in a box. Medically, I'm supposed to be dead. Medically, there was no faith. There was no chance for me. But the good man upstairs kept me alive for a reason. That's exactly what the doctor said too. We don't know how you live. We don't know how you're alive, because medically you had no chance. But you had the higher power didn't agree with us. So, like I always say, and it's important, make sure everybody takes this down. It's very important. Make sure you watch that video, 911 Dispatch a Day Changed My Life. Watch it, share it, and if I didn't tell my daughter Raina that morning, if I didn't tell Kim, before I left, and imagine what would have happened if I didn't come home, how they would have felt. So everybody, I say this after every video is because I truly mean it, and it's the truth. Uh, Make sure you tell your loved ones you love them before you leave your house because you're not guaranteed to make it home. Be a blessing. Stay blessed. I'm out.